Hello and welcome to GPTV on Tuesday the 3rd of May. My name's Philip Kingston.
And I'm Gary Peer.
And Gary, it must be great to have me back.
I've got to tell you, it was great when you were away as well. We had some good fun on GPTV. Oh, we had Sally in and we had Adam in. They were awesome.
Did a great job.
So it was wonderful. But welcome home. It's good to have you back. I did miss you.
It's good to be back. It's good to be back.
It's lovely to have you back.
I always say it's great to go away.
Yes.
It's great to go on holiday. But coming back to this country, it is the best country in the world. And Melbourne, the world's most livable city, what a great city to come back to, Gary.
And according to CoreLogic, Philip, the only state, the only city that's had double growth numbers consistently. It's the best performing real estate place in Australia, Philip.
And viewers, where did we get that information from? As we sat down to film this morning, the first thing that popped up on Gary's iPhone
as headlines
was a headline from CoreLogic. And for those of you that don't know who CoreLogic are, they are a publicly listed organisation that is probably the number one keeper of information stats about the real estate industry nationwide.
Interesting, Philip.
You are
a source for me. How was your trip away?
Trip was unbelievable, Gary. Have a look.
Have
a look at these. Can you see, Mr. Cameron? Can you see those shoes on screen as we speak? Have a look at those shoes, Gary.
Did you step in something, or is that your sock odour?
The smell of the brand new leather of the shoes that I just bought in Italy. And wouldn't it be nice if it was just one pair of shoes that I bought? That was one of 12.
Or even just one shoe. Oh, you bought 12 pair. You're not. Here's the Imelda Marcos of shoes in the male version.
I've got to tell you, Gary.
Yeah.
I was in Milan. Yeah. In Milan for 3 days.
How many suits have you got now?
I've got 30. Well, are you talking about how many I had before I went to Milan?
How many have now?
Okay, so I bought quite a bit of clothing in Milan, and all I can say is I was the worst dressed person in Milan.
Oh, is that right?
You've never seen anything like it.
Yeah,
even the ugly people are incredibly good looking.
Are there any ugly people in Milan?
I didn't see any. But those that might not be a 9 or a 10 out of 10 were a 10 out of 10 just from the clothing that we're wearing.
They do it well with the Italians. They're very stylish people.
They are, but they're funny.
Yeah, I love
I'm
them.
walking in this central part of Milan where all of the amazing shopping area is, and there are some of the best dressed blokes I've ever seen. And I'm watching this one guy who looks like he's straight out of a movie. He's got the slick back, longish hair, that brilliant bronzed Italian look.
Yes.
And he's got the coat. They don't wear coats like you and I wear coats. No. They have them sitting over their shoulders. Yeah. And he's just parading up and down this street, looking at himself in the shop windows.
And that's his occupation, is it?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Well, I know
they look good.
The economy's tough.
And the women. You know, don't mind saying the women look fabulous as well.
I don't mind agreeing with you. I've got a good friend of mine, in Italian. He's back there all the time, and he says in Italy, he said, in even small village or whatever, he said they might not have a job, but they'll always be well dressed.
Incredible.
Incredible.
And the pasta, Gary, the pasta,
yeah, well, there you go.
The risotto.
Yum.
I've got to tell you.
Let's get away from Italy and all the way back to Melbourne, Australia, Philip, because there's so much going on here. And it's interesting on the weekend, talking about Melbourne, Australia, I met someone from Queensland on the weekend, delightful lady, and someone from New South Wales, both keen watchers of GPT.
You do get out and about.
Oh, yeah, mate, don't worry about that. I'm national, you might be international.
You're the Jimmy Barnes of real estate, aren't you?
Both keen watchers of GPTV,
right?
So I thought that was interesting. So welcome, shout out to both.
Well, it is a national show, Gary.
It is, Phil. Let's talk about the weekend that was, Philip. It was a pretty good one for us. I think we had 74%, if I'm not mistaken.
We did.
The national average of, I think, 68%, if I'm not wrong. So put those towers up. A good weekend out there. Some intense bidding for some properties, Philip. Some others, not as intense. But overall, still very strong.
I thought it was a pretty strong weekend.
Market's a little bit more balanced.
Keep in mind, the volume in Melbourne and the volume in Sydney were pretty much at all-time highs.
Well, I was in Sydney last week, and this was a busy weekend, post-Anzac weekend, you're right. But overall, I think everyone's got a bit of a stock shortage, Phil.
Well, there is, but last weekend was a big weekend.
Agreed.
And it was a structural issue,
Yes,
Gary.
It was. But it was a strong weekend, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Strong performance. So the market is strong. Melbourne is performing strongly, but not everything is red hot, Phil.
Do you know, obviously I've been away for 2 weeks, Gary. Been seeing the results that have been coming through because we're all part of a WhatsApp group. But I did get off the plane on Sunday morning at 6:30.
Yes.
Managed to do a 2:30 and 3:30 auction in the afternoon. What I was just blown away with was the number of people at both of those auctions.
Some big people.
Did an auction in Alexandra Street that went well. I reckon there was 150 people there. And then in Alfada Street, Gary, would have been another 100 people. So the numbers, if those are any sign of the weekend's activities, big.
Well, why don't we talk about some of our
Let's
options?
do.
We can review some of them. Let's start off in Burnett Street in the sunny shores of St Kilda. Jeremy Rosen's at 11:30 auction. This apartment sold particularly well. Philip sold for $585,000. Some good competition there for that one, and Jeremy was excited by that result, and so was our vendor. Philip, I was in Bentley East on the weekend in Paloma Street. We've got a little bit of footage from that auction.
Paloma, that's a
Paloma
city in Italy.
It may well be, but I tell you what, it's a good street. It's a good street in Bentley East because there was lots of people fighting for this. I think we had 4 or 5 bidders going hammer and tong at it, Philip, and we have closing moments of that auction.
Ladies and gentlemen, is sold. Please congratulate our buyer. Thanks for coming to our auction.
7 Farnham Street was probably my strongest auction on the weekend, Philip. Bells of Shilling handled that one. 5 bidders, very strong, and on the market at 1325, which is really at the top of the range, sold for 1415, Philip. A strong auction result and a popular one. Philip, you mentioned Alexander Street. It was undisclosed, the price, but I know it did go well. But we've got a little bit of footage at Alfada Street. Now, that one's an interesting story. Take us through that one a little bit.
Well, Gary, arrived, big crowd, blustering winds, so we held it inside, which was great. I love the inside auctions. Might talk about that on another show at some stage. We had a reserve around 1.4 there, just flew. In fact, the bidding got to 1.5 million there, and the next bid was $1.6 million.
But still not enough to knock the buyers out.
Obviously, we thought it was all over there, but kept going and sold for 1,640,000. Auctions up on screen now.
Well done.
Going sold, ladies and gentlemen. Please congratulate you.
Looks like you had some fun there, Philip. Plenty of people inside and plenty of people at the auctions altogether this weekend. The crowds were up.
They were.
Which is good when you're talking about the volume of properties, as you rightly say. It was a big weekend structurally, Philip, given that it was 2 weekends in one.
Notice the way I've introduced structurally as a kind of an adjective, although is it an adjective, structurally?
English was never my strength, Philip. You know that. And once you leave school in Year 10,
you did pass English, didn't you? Just.
Well, I did the 3rd time round. Year 10 was the best 5 years of my life. Philip, let's keep on moving on because plenty more to talk about. This weekend we've got 20 auctions,
20
over
across
10 suburbs, Phil. We're everywhere. All over the place. And last weekend we were everywhere as well. We were Bentley East and Oakley and Kew. We were all over the place.
Move it on, Gary. Okay, it's a big show.
Let's start off.
Week, a lot of auctions to get
Saturday morning, 10:30 a.m. Philip, we're in St Kilda and Alma Road. Take us through this property to be auctioned by Jeremy Rosen.
Gary, a great building this. Got an indoor swimming pool amongst other things. Great position there. 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom and secure parking. Love that building, love that location.
Triple auction action on Saturday morning, Philip, at 11:30. The first of those is in Brighton Road in Elstonwick or Rip and Lee.
And Gary, check out the courtyard garden of this apartment. It is amazing. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space, but one of the biggest courtyard and one of the best courtyards you'll ever see in an apartment.
Crimea Street, St Kilda, Philip. We're doing lots in St Kilda this weekend.
We love
it
Crimea
there.
Street, Gary. This is a great apartment. 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 car space. Walking distance to Wellington Street, Chapel Street or Fitzroy Street.
Philip, Hornby Street, Windsor is where I'm doing my first auction, 11:30 with Adam. I love the look of this property. Adam's expecting it to be popular, and it should be, because what a cool place.
As it should be, Gary. Hard to find these Art Deco duplexes. Combined, they're 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2 garages, obviously 2 apartments, being sold as 1.
Let's have a snapshot now from the newspaper for the weekend, Philip, because there is a spread on a property that is owned by a very interesting gentleman. His name is Sam Fisher. He plays for St Kilda Football Club.
Yes, and unfortunately they took the D's apart on the weekend, Gary. I think we were getting a bit ahead of ourselves with 2 wins in a row.
Well,
Melbourne thought they could have 3 wins in a row, but their record at Etihad is shocking.
Well, I know that feeling because Carlton now has had 2 wins in a row, Philip, but
let's
we're hoping the Pies.
Distract from this property because it is owned by a St Kilda footballer.
And a good footballer too, Philip.
He is excellent footballer.
Outstanding and a good property owner.
And a good guy. 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 car space, great terrace. That is a really good apartment.
Jeremy Rosen is excited about that one, Phil, and so he should be. He'll be doing the auction. Williams Road in Windsor, Philip, 12:30. Looking forward to this one. A good opportunity, affordable one.
Good 1 bedroom apartment, Gary. That's in a great location. Walking distance to everywhere you want to be.
Joel Sears enjoyed handling it. I'm going to be enjoying auctioning it, Philip. And you're going to be enjoying auctioning a little bit later on the day, but not at Woolnack Road because Graham Callan is doing that auction at 12:30.
And Gary, we love these 1-bedders. They're a staple part of our real estate business. 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 car space. And Carnegie, of course, we keep saying goes from strength to strength.
We love it in Elstonwick, Philip. We're here right now. We're going to talk about this home shortly.
You don't want me to talk about it now?
No, I don't. I want you to stay structurally on song,
Structurally?
Philip, because just around the corner from this place, we're going to be auctioning a home in Buxton Street. That one goes off on Saturday. We also shot GPTV from there, if I'm not mistaken, Philip.
Gary, what a beautiful home. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, off-street car parking for 2 cars. A beautifully renovated home, and obviously it's got everything that opens and shuts. And Buxton Street is a great street.
Sure is, Phil. Bentley East action on Saturday afternoon at 1:30. Jeremy Rosen's auctioning that one, I beg your pardon, for Lemoore. Richard Street, Philip. And no Richard jokes, please.
No, but a special shout out to one of our wonderful and favourite clients, Richard, who is a regular watcher of the show.
He likes to watch it, doesn't it?
And all I can say is he is a fitness fanatic, Gary, and he is in the most
healthy.
He is in the most superb shape of his life.
And a quality builder he is too, Phil.
2 bedrooms, 1.5 bathrooms, and 1 car space via a carport. What a really good property that is.
Richard, a quality builder, and he's quality built, isn't he himself, Philip? We move on to Filbert Street, Phil. There's been lots of interest in this terrific looking home.
Gary,
excited about this one.
I describe this property as picture postcard perfect.
And I think that would be an appropriate description.
I was talking about me, Gary, but 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, off-street car parking for 2 cars. That is just a glorious house.
2:30 on Saturday, Phil. That's one of the special homes that goes up this weekend. We're looking forward to auctioning that one, or you are anyway. I might even come along and see how you go there, Phil. Heckle you a little. Phil, 3:30 Saturday, we're going to be in Rotorua. Not in New Zealand.
Have you ever been to Rotorua?
I haven't, but that's where they've got all the bubbles.
It's all of the bubbling springs,
what's it called?
the mud
sodium
pools. No, it's sulphur.
Sulphur.
And I've got to tell you, Rotorua Street Rotorua in New Zealand.
Good golf courses, I hear.
It's a beautiful, interesting place. But it stinks.
Yeah.
And if you're from Rotorua, you understand it's not a personal insult. No. It's not you that smells in Rotorua in New Zealand.
It's not your shoes or socks.
It's just that sulphur.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of getting used to. But
no
there
such
is no smell in Rotorua Street.
It's clean.
In Caulfield South.
It smells beautiful there, Philip, because the trees are there. And
it smells of autumn.
Does.
And what a great street it is, great position, and what a great property. We love these properties, Gary. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathrooms, 1 off-street car space via a garage. That is a really good property, and a lot of land there too.
A lot of land. Smells like you might have a good result there, Philip, on Saturday
afternoon.
afternoon, and that will be a wrap for Saturday. That brings down the curtain on Saturday, but we raise it again on Sunday, Philip, in the morning, because at 10:30 a.m. we're going to be right here. This is a great
I've been itching to talk about this house and this street, Gary.
I think this was the front page of the paper, by the way, if I'm not mistaken, on the weekend. Let's have a little bit of a focus on that too. There it is, Philip. What a great looking home. It took the entire front page of the PRW. Now, off to you.
Firstly, it's a picture postcard perfect facade. But when you walk through the front garden, which is stunning in itself, you arrive at this house, which is renovated from the front door to the back fence.
The right side of the street too, Phil. We've got the sun coming through
Western
here. Northwest
side of the street. Not that there's anything wrong with the other side of the street, but this is the number 1 side,
it is,
of course.
Phil.
But we're walking distance to the tram in Glen Huntly Road and all of the fabulous cafe life of Elstonwick. Having said that, it's an oasis of calm and quiet here, Gary.
Yeah. And quality, Phil.
This back room,
calm, quiet and quality.
This back room that we're sitting in is nothing short of incredible because it's massive. High ceilings. I love the way the doors open to the back garden.
Stunning kitchen, Phil.
There is no expense being spared here, Gary. The kitchen and the bathrooms in plural, hasn't got 2 kitchens. Absolutely stunning. But from the moment Darren took me here, who's been looking after this house, I completely fell in love. It's an enchanting home and one that I'm really looking forward to auctioning this Sunday morning at 10:30. Come along, have a coffee from the Gary Piran Associates coffee van. But this is a great house.
I'm sorry I can't be here to join you. I've got an auction at the same time. I wish I could be at 2 places at one time because I know I'd love to be here, and this one should go well. We're looking forward to it.
Speaking of being in 2 places at one time, you know that that Silicon Valley is working on holograms. Holograms is the new technology.
I know about holograms.
It may be possible, not too distant future, Gary, for you to be in 2 places at once.
Really? Is that right?
Think about that for a moment,
and
viewers.
And does it multiply more than 2, or it can just be 2?
God help us if there's more than one of you. Anyway, what else have we got on Sunday, Gary?
We've got a property that's been very well received, Philip. It's been popular, and I've got the auction honours of this one, and I reckon this one's going to go off at 3 Kalimna Grove.
I've got to tell you, Gary, if we could talk about good-looking real estate, as we've gone through the offerings this weekend,
there's some
really good-looking properties, which kind of suits me coming back from Milan, and I
continues that whole
wear some of my
Italian
new Italian clothes this weekend, Gary. But we have some stunning properties, and that's one of them.
It is.
3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom. I love Kalimna. I love that part of East St Kilda. It's a winner.
Phil, Greyfriars is that spectacular building on Balaclava Road with those beautiful, majestic gardens. Philip, I'm going to be doing an auction there at 11:30.
Check out the renovation of this apartment, Gary. It is actually an award-winning interior, I reckon. Yeah. Stunning. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space. That is just stunning. Love it.
I tell a lie, Philip, because Jeremy Rosens has the auction honours, but that's a great one. I'm sure
It's a show about the truth, Gary. Although we do bend and manipulate the truth occasionally, but it is a show about truth.
Thanks for that credibility there, Phil. You've added to the program.
We call it poetry.
Poetry,
We're poetic truth.
Poetic truth, Philip. You will not need to have any poetic truth at Stanley Parade, because that's just going to sell well, I would imagine. Phil, it's a good address.
Gary, not only is it a good address, but it's a great house and it's a great parcel of land. 3 bedrooms, 1.5 bathrooms, double lock-up garage, polished timber floorboards. A brilliant house, but also some development opportunity. Obviously, we say subject to council approval, but check that one out.
You'll be moving on to another terrific allotment of land, Philip, in Latrobe Street, which we love.
673 square metres of prime Caulfield South land with a 15.24 metre frontage. That's as good as it gets. You can't go wrong buying in Caulfield South.
Me and Joel Sir and I are tracking each other around this weekend a little. I'm going to be meeting him in Orong Road for the auction of this terrific apartment, Phil.
And Gary, it is 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space. Walking distance to everywhere you need to be, including our office. If you buy that apartment, drop in any day you want for a coffee from our beautiful Italian coffee machine.
Phil, we've got the honour and privilege of selling so many beautiful period homes this weekend. You wouldn't think it could get any better, but there's another one that we've got in Bamber Road. Tell us about this one.
I love that house, Gary. Yeah. In fact, I did the video tour there. Congratulations to the vendors who have created the most incredible home.
And they are delightful vendors, Philip.
Beautiful facade, but a stunning interior. Everything to love about that home.
We go from stunning period home to magnificent modern, Philip, in Dover Street, Caulfield South. This is an incredible property.
Well, have a look at that house, Gary. It doesn't get any bigger, bolder and more beautiful. 5 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, double lock-up garage. That's a house with everything that opens and shuts. It's what we call a turnkey solution to your housing needs, Gary. Where you put the key in the front door, move your furniture in and get on with life. There's nothing to do.
What more could you want, Philip?
Nothing, Gary.
Maybe Sunhill Court you could want, because that's our last auction of the weekend. That is a great address.
It is.
A terrific looking home.
3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms. That is a property that I'm really looking forward to. Had a chat with the vendor on the weekend, saw him at a townhouse that we auctioned in Alexandra Street, told him I was looking forward to his auction, and I am, because it's a good property and I love that location.
That brings a wrap to the wrap, Philip. Something like $25 million of real estate going under the hammer.
Wow.
A very exciting weekend.
Goodness knows we need it, because you should see the size of my American Express bill. Well, I've got to tell you, I looked at it this morning and I thought, there's an incentive for me to keep working for the rest of my life.
Exactly right. We're certainly not low on the stimulation for performance, are we, Phil, with bills like that, holidays like that?
Debt is a wonderful reason to get out of bed in the morning, Gary.
It is indeed, Phil. We're in May. It's always a great month. I actually love selling in May because there's no holidays, there's no long weekends, there's no interruptions. It really is a juicy real estate month.
We've got a big month ahead of us, Gary.
We've got a really big month, a really exciting month, some great offerings, and I'm feeling the market's still very strong.
Gary, there is no question when you look at the results we've had. You've had the depth of bidding that we had across the weekend, when you had the volume of people coming to the auction. And it's interesting, the crowds are often a good barometer of how the market's going.
Even in crappy weather, Phil, when people are coming out in the rain, Farnham Street was pouring rain, you get still plenty of people.
You get big crowds, it means people are interested, and people are generally interesd when the market is doing well. So I'm loving being back, Gary. Good to be back.
It's good to have you back. I did miss you.
Tell
the truth, I missed you here.
And I missed you too, Gary.
Missed your insults, missed you. I didn't know about I actually got my eyebrows cleaned up just in time for today. So it's good to have you back home and on GPTV.
Gary,
give everyone great information.
I always say I love going away, but I love coming home even more.
The greatest place in the world to live and a great place to buy real estate, Philip, is in Melbourne. And we're going to continue to bring you all the news. 10 suburbs represented this weekend by auction. We're looking forward to telling you what happened with them next week, and a wrap for the following week. And I think that's
Come and have a coffee with us this weekend. Thanks for watching. It's great to be back. Have a great week.
Bye now.